Uh, Tom here, Flip Anything USA. Uh, it's Monday night. Uh, Wanted to talk about confidence. How some people have it, some people don't. Some people get it later in life. Some people get it early. Um, and also just being optimistic in general. A lot of people don't have a lot of positive people around them, and it kind of undermines them from feeling positive. And I understand that, and I know what that's like. I actually had a very negative grandfather. Fortunately, he didn't raise me. But just a general ramble about things tonight. I'm kind of tired, but I thought I'd try to get something out tonight. So a couple things I want to talk about is, I always emphasize just try, try, try. Uh, I started a cabinet shop, which actually led me to buying my first building, as you probably know if you watch my other videos. So I was really broke. I was really broke. I was, oh man, tell you a couple things. So after I bought that building, that first building, and I was living in the building, and this is the building I bought when I was 19, and I squeaked in there, but I owned it. It was mine. Big deal to me. But I was living in it for a while, and I mean I moved right into it because I was trying to save every cent to buy the building, and I remember this girl next door. There was I think they called it whirly ball. They drove electric bumper cars and had these kind of like what do they call those things, son? When you throw the ball with a basket, a hook. What is
I
Tiger play?
don't know what they're.
Come on.
I don't.
All right. Anyways, it was bumper car whirly. They called it whirly ball, and they'd ride around bumper car. Well, anyways, so even though I just bought that building, I was feeling pretty good about myself. Man, my self-esteem was pretty low because I had a business I was growing, and business was not good. And I was living in the building. I didn't have a kitchen. I didn't have an apartment. I didn't have any of that stuff in there. And I remember specifically, I was getting I was getting water from a refrigerator line that would tie into the tap where there used to be a sink within a room that was within this 6,000 square foot industrial building. And there was this cute girl working next door, and so I'm 19, and of course, I'm single, and this cute girl, she liked me. And I remember her name was Sandy, and she worked in the concession stand right next door, in the building next to me. And so I'd go over there and we'd get Cokes in the morning. I liked her and I was shy and I didn't really have confidence to ask her out. And and then one day she's pulling in to go there to work, and everybody that worked for me had already gone home. And she comes over to me, and she had a little dog, had a little Chihuahua, and she said, "Hey, you want to watch my dog while I'm working, and I'll come back and get him?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure." And I didn't invite her in. She was talking at the door of my business. Well, because this is like the door on the side of the building where I had my apartment. And I go, "Yeah, sure." And so I got her dog, and I'm there for probably 4 hours. I got her dog, and I'm just watching TV in my crappy little apartment that was within the building. And I had like a TV sitting on a milk crate. I had an ice chest. I didn't even have a fridge. I had an ice chest at the time, and my water's coming out of this little copper pipe that would have fed a refrigerator that had an ice maker if there was one in there. And so but I was feeling low and I was embarrassed. So what happened was, boom, she comes knocking on my door about 9 o'clock. Very cute, sweet girl, same age as me, and she's waiting for me to ask her in, but I'm too embarrassed. I'm too embarrassed by what I got. And really, I should have been proud. I mean, I was 19 years old and I had a 6,000 square foot building, and yeah, I was scraping by, but I really did something there. And in hindsight, I see it, right? But at the moment, I'm like, I feel bad because I just, I don't have a fridge, I don't have a kitchen. And so I hand her dog back, and she takes the dog and just kind of is wondering why, I'm not friendlier to her. And I was nice to her, but it was just I was embarrassed by the conditions that I had there. Wasn't feeling great about myself, and I should have felt great about myself because really I was on the track for prosperity. Like, really, I've been very fortunate. So, anyways, I'm kind of just stumbling around, but it goes to not having confidence when I should have had confidence. I mean, I was on a track for, where I made a lot of money after that and since. And even then, even living in this big building, I mean, heck, I didn't know anybody that had actually bought even a house at 19. And here I had this huge building. And I had a business. I was self-employed. I was already doing pretty well. Or at least I was on the track. It was a little bit tight. It was tight. But I bought that building. But anyway, my point is, I didn't have confidence when I should have. And that's what I see with people all the time. People that don't have confidence when they should have. People that have, a decent job or they have at least they have a good spirit. They're ready to try and make money and do things. But they're lacking confidence. Some of them are afraid. And so many people are afraid when they really shouldn't be. Because A, you got nothing to lose. And so let's keep talking about that, about confidence. So, there's I tell you another thing. I was kind of related to girls because to a degree. I remember being in a bar when I was probably 21 now, and I felt pretty good about myself, but I remember I saw these two girls, very pretty girls, sitting at the corner of the bar, and I'd watch men walk up and ask them to dance or talk to them, and then they'd walk away. Walk up to them, walk away. Walk up to them, and walk away. So I'm like, man, I wonder what's up. And so I walk over to him, and I didn't ask him to dance. I just said, hey, how's it going? I said, you mind if I sit with you and hang out? And they go, oh, yeah, that'd be great. They go, God, everybody keeps coming up asking us to dance, and we're hanging out together. We don't want to get up and dance. We just want to sit here. And they said, yeah, sit down. And I sat down with them. We talked, and they ended up coming back to my place that night. And all we did was sit on the couch and just talked all night, but it turned into a great friendship and just a wonderful night, and two really nice girls, and it was just funny because we talked about business, and I remember one of them was doing a snow cone. She was kind of an entrepreneur. She had like a snow cone machine business, and in fact, one of them was married, but we were just talking about everything, but it was a great connection and a great time. And I was a little bit afraid to go up and ask him after seeing 10 guys better looking than me walk away, with their head in their hands. And but you know what? I went ahead and I pulled the trigger. I went over and said, hey, can I just sit down? I tried a different approach. And really, that's what you need to do. And that's kind of with real estate. Don't be afraid to ask. Knock on the door. Ask. See what's going on. I'll give you an example. Even today, I actually heard back from In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out Burger is a big chain in California and different states. And so I had a property. I thought, man, I like In-N-Out Burger, by the way. And I've got one south of me and I got one north of me. And I think I'm in the perfect spot where I have this commercial 3-acre corner. So I called their corporate offices. They're kind of protective. They're hard to get at the right guy right away. But a few days later, I get a phone call, and gal says, hey, here's the contact. She gave me the number of the guy that is the representative for my area, and gave me his email. And so it was funny because I picked up my boys from Airsoft. We play Airsoft Wars. And we come back to In-N-Out Burger after they play. So I'd already wrote this guy a letter, an email, and gave him a description of my property and threw it out there. Said, hey, I think this would be a great location. Tell me what you think. And coincidentally, on the way back from Airsoft, me and my boys stop and get our traditional hamburger we get afterwards. And I get an email, and it's from that guy. And unfortunately, he told me, he said, no, we're looking for something that's a little more north. And it makes me confused if he's not mixing up my property. I'm on Anderson, a road called Anderson South, and there's another one called North Anderson. I'm wondering if he's mixing up one from the other, but he said, no, that one's not quite where we'd like it to be located. So I'll be calling him back again. But again, I went ahead and took the chance and I took the effort and said, hey, can you use, this would be a great location for you. And it looks like it may not be, but if I didn't ask, I wouldn't have had the opportunity. I wouldn't have got the no, but you know what? I took a chance and I could have got a yes. There's a saying I've heard, and I use it too once in a while. It says, you can't win the lottery unless you buy a ticket. You can't win the lottery unless you buy a ticket. And it's just like, those girls, I wasn't going to get a yes unless I asked. And I was going to get an automatic no. If I never ask, the answer is no. They don't even know who I am. So I always try to do things logically. I break things down. What's the worst thing that can happen? No, right? And that's the worst, but the potential of a yes is so big, you can't lose sight of that. And there's so many deals that I've gotten and so much money that I've made that has really just been from going ahead and going forward and asking. And and that goes right down to just so many different opportunities that have come to me, friends and things too, of just going ahead and just asking. So anyways, what else I want to cover? I'll real quick, I'll talk about a book I should have mentioned the other day. I think it was called The Power of Persuasion, or it was Persuasion. Jumping around here a little bit, but it was interesting. There was only one chapter out of this whole book that really I liked, or that I really cared for. But I thought it was really interesting because it was about Hare Krishnas at the airport and the power of giving a gift. And really, it's kind of the power of being nice. You're nice to, I always say, like attracts like. I read that somewhere, but it's true. When you like people, they'll like you back. It's just, they can't help it. And so they talk about these Hare Krishna girls, or men, I don't know, but they're at the airport and they would hand people a flower, and then hand people a flower, like maybe a little piece of paper and a prayer or something that asks for $1. And so these people, they get handed a flower and they're like, oh, how are you going to not take a flower? Somebody's handing you a flower. So, okay, you take the flower, and then, do you have $1? They ask, or whatever. And then it's like, okay. And then, so you're given $1 for this little daisy. It probably costs 2 cents. And so in this power of persuasion, or whatever this book was, they talked about how these guys and girls would hand out these flowers, and the people would just be like, oh, and they don't have $1, so they give them a 5, and they're getting these hordes of cash for these flowers. And then you go 30 feet down the road, and then all of a sudden you look in, this guy he made the observation, they're getting all this money, and he sees one of these, I think it's Hare Krishnas, I'm not going to say it is, I think it's Hare Krishnas, but anyways, they walk down and look in the trash can. Well, there's a pile of these flowers where people, after they approached them, the people took the flower, gave them $1 or $5, walked 30 feet and threw it in the trash. Well, and then one of these guys that's doing handing out the flowers, they walk over to the trash can and grab about 150, a couple hundred, a big handful of these back out of the trash can where they just been thrown, and probably sort out the bad ones and repeat. Hand them out, get $1, get $1. So anyhow, it just kind of goes to, I'm jumping around a little bit here, but it goes to the power of, it's just your mind, right? Confidence, it's your mind. Persuasion, it's your mind, and so it's interesting though. I just like the interest of that, it's like attracts like, and if you're generally, nice to people and talk to people, and that could be a person selling you the property, they'll make deals. Sellers want to sell, and if you're nice and a good person, and decent, they're gonna like you, and they might bend over backwards trying to make it possible for you to buy something that otherwise might be difficult. So anyways, I'll leave it here with that tonight, and hope I didn't bore you to death. I just want to get something out and chat a little bit about what was on my mind. But so Flip Anything USA, hey, please like the videos, even if you don't like them, just like them. It'll help me, okay? Get my index higher, and we'll get more attention. And please subscribe if you haven't, and share it with somebody that, like yourself, that I've done a lot of things, made a lot of money, and I'm sharing it for free. And people ask me if I mentor. Well, this is video mentoring, and it's free, costs you nothing. So that's it. Flip Anything USA. Thanks for watching. Bye.